Welcome back for part 2 of Macaroni and Cheese. My name is Chris and you're with Fubar Consulting. Now in part 1 we did a scratch mac and cheese, very basic cheese, but a lot better than the frozen entree you can buy, and a lot better pricing as well. A lot more consistent, you can make it your own, and today I want to expand on making it your own. I'd like to help introduce you to a few signature mac and cheeses you can do to add value to your customer, to come to your place and spend a little extra money for it. We're going to be doing a few side items and even an entree that you can use, that you can take for mac and cheese. And the idea is not to show you what to make. The idea is to get your mindset into how to make your own signature mac and cheese. What you can add to it to make it your own. So today, we're going to be taking very popular dishes and adding macaroni and cheese and combining the two into making a dish that is a little bit familiar to the customers, and at the same time adding value to something as basic as macaroni and cheese, so that you will have a signature dish and people will hopefully come to your place. So, that said, let's get going.
So as said earlier, our intention is going to be combining popular dishes such as Alfredo and also Buffalo Blue into dishes that can be incorporated with macaroni and cheese. I'm going to be doing a truffle Alfredo mac and cheese using this black truffle oil. You don't have to do truffle, however, it just adds a little bit of earthy flavor to it. I like to use this particular one because it actually has a flake of black truffle oil. Right now all we're going to be doing is starting to cook up the garlic a little bit, and then we'll be adding cream into it. We're going to be using 2 different kinds of cheese as well. This is the elephant garlic you've seen in a previous video. It's a lot juicier, a little bit sweeter as well. I like to mince mine, and instead of having to just chop the heck out of it, just get a grater. You know what, you get almost to use 100% of the actual bulb, and it's so much faster and easier, and all you have to do is just scoop it right off. Little trick I saw from Gordon Ramsay, by the way. So I'm doing this on a medium-low heat. It's not going to take terribly much to get this going. As you can see, it definitely gets hot. We're just going to move it around a little bit and let it cook up. I don't want to scorch it, I don't want to burn it, but it definitely is running a little hot, so this won't take but a second. We're going to be throwing a heavy cream in next, and once that gets warm enough, we'll start infusing it with cheese. We're going to do 2 different types. We're going to be doing a sharp white cheddar and also Parmesan as well. Now, if I just sat here and whisked the entire video, it would be about half an hour long, so you're going to see a little bit of whisking, but then I'm going to really just crank the speed up on it so that we can get you back to your day in a decent time. Okay, now the cream's warmed up considerably. We're throwing in about a half cup of white cheddar first. What I like to do is I like to alternate between white cheddar and then the Parmesan as well, and back and forth until I get the consistency and the thickness that I prefer. You can get the pre-shredded. I really prefer actually shredding it fresh. It just tastes considerably a lot better. So season as you go. Don't just season at the front or at the end. This way it actually infuses and incorporates into the sauces you're making, or any dish really. Again, we're going back into white cheddar here and just keep whisking away for a little bit. As you can see, it's starting to get a little bit thicker. We're getting the consistency and the texture that we're looking for. So one thing I also did was I went ahead and pre-boiled a considerable amount of pasta, just enough for pretty much all of the dishes we'll be incorporating. In this, I am using cavatappi. Uh, One little trick I like to do with this is fresh basil as well. We're just going to incorporate about half of the portion I'm going to be using, which was about 4 or 5 large leaves cut into strips. This way it just kind of gets the flavor cooked into the sauce. A little bit extra, and we're going to use the remaining bit for a garnish a little bit later. So I wanted to get it just a hair thicker, so we're going to use a little bit more Parmesan. You don't have to oversalt the heck out of this because Parmesan is a very salty cheese, so keep that in mind as well. And I'm putting a little bit of oil at the end just to get a little more truffle flavor, that earthy flavor into it. So as this one is wrapping up, we're going to go ahead and toss the pasta. I've already pre-boiled it and had it ready, so just throw it in a bowl, throw the sauce on it. I'm going to be doing this as a finish in the oven in a cast iron skillet because I think the presentation is going to be a lot more fun than if I just put it on a plate. And there you have it. I went ahead and did some bell peppers diced as well as the remaining basil. Top it off with some fresh Parmesan, and then you have a fun dish with a great presentation that a lot of people won't be seeing around the neighborhood. Next, we're going to be moving on to a buffalo and blue mac and cheese. So what I've done here is I've already added cream. I've added a little bit of a buffalo sauce. This one, I believe the brand is Moore's buffalo sauce. And it's going to be very simple. All we're doing is going to be doing blue cheese into it. It takes a little bit for that one to melt. We're going to be adding in as well a pepper jack, shredded pepper jack, as well as a shredded white cheddar. And so this one, in the end, is going to end up being a 3-cheese buffalo blue mac and cheese. Great little side dish. Gives it a little spicier version without having to just do cayenne or Cajun or something along that lines. Another great option for a side item. Again, we're not trying to give you ideas of what to do specifically, just trying to get your mind into the creative mode in order to start thinking outside the box a little bit other than just a basic mac and cheese. It's a great way to get a little bit of upcharge and hopefully draw some people to you, get people talking, you know. And for what it's worth, this one goes extremely quickly. A lot of times you're going to have these ingredients already in your restaurant. If you don't have blue cheese, it's not a very cost prohibitive item. I think you can get about 5 pounds for $20, and it lasts for a heck of a long time, go figure. Then we're going to be garnishing with some green onions as well, which is also extremely inexpensive. So I'm not trying to break the bank by any means. To incorporate some dishes that are outside of the box thinking. Toss in some cavatappi, and it's as easy as that. I like to garnish with a little bit of blue cheese. And yes, you should wear gloves, but this is for me, so I don't care. A little bit of blue cheese, a little bit of green onion, and it's just got a great little look and presentation to it. All of which is extremely inexpensive and a great way to upcharge $1.50 to $2. And for the last dish, we're going to be doing a loaded Cajun mac and cheese. We've got andouille sausage cut on the bias, as well as some colossal shrimp that I've detailed. Toss it in with Old Bay and some blackened redfish seasoning made by the brand Magic. Really with this, we're just going to saute it up in butter, let it cook up, flip it, and then set it on the side once we're done cooking, and then we'll get into the actual sauce of it. I'm going to do a beer cheese, and since we have seasoning and butter already in the pan, I'm going to be using an amber beer. We don't have Abita amber, so I'm going to end up using Sam Adams Boston Lager. I would prefer Abita simply because that is made in Louisiana and it's kind of known for being the Cajun. So basically right now we've got a little bit of seafood flavor as well as Cajun seasoning, butter, beer, and then we'll add some cream into this. That's really as crazy as we need to get with it. We'll re-season it with some Old Bay and some of that Magic Blackened seasoning. I like the blackening seasoning by Magic simply because it's a little lower sodium than like Zatarain's. We're going to be throwing in a mixture of a few flavors. We're going to be doing just kind of a medium cheddar as well as a pepper jack and a smoked Gouda. And as I mentioned on the last video, the type of pasta we're using is going to be cavatappi. It's 100% semolina. This pasta has been cooked and setting out warm for about 30 minutes, and it's holding up really, really well. I just wanted to kind of show you real fast. Back to the sauce, we're just going to whisk and add a little more cheese. I really like the flavor of Gouda when it comes to Cajun seasoning. Just gives a little smoky flavor as well as the Cajun spice. Adding with the cream, it's just really well balanced. In and itself, though, it doesn't have a whole lot of heat, so I'm adding Tabasco sauce into this. Tabasco is not my favorite, and it's a little too vinegary for me, but the reason I'm using Tabasco is that is a Louisiana tradition. That really finishes off the sauce a bit, so we're going to add some of the pasta into this, give it a quick toss. Keep in mind we're doing an entree portion, so we're going to be doubling the size of the amount of pasta. I'm just going to toss it actually into that, and time for plating. So, wanted to show you a little bit of the trio here. We're still going to top this off with some red bell peppers, and remaining a little bit of green onion as well. So there's a great loaded Cajun mac and cheese, perfect as an entree. A little truffle Alfredo mac and cheese for those who want to give a little twist on a regular dish. And a buffalo blue mac and cheese that is perfect for any casual restaurant.
Well, my kitchen's a wreck now, but that was a heck of a lot of fun. So today I just wanted to showcase a way or two to be able to elevate a side item of macaroni and cheese into a new dish so that it would give a little bit of added value to your restaurant and your menu. You don't have to use these exact ones by any means. The whole point and purpose of this was to get you thinking about how to combine and create new types of macaroni and cheese in order to draw customers. Think of it this way: you can still do a basic macaroni and cheese, but have an elevated version, a loaded mac and cheese, if you will, in order to allow you to upcharge and be able to get a few extra dollars where it only costs you a few pennies. The entree, the Cajun, for me, has always been great with the creamy cheese. It balances really well, and you just have a really well-balanced pasta dish entree. And I really encourage you to start carrying pasta on your menu if you don't. One of the benefits is pasta stays a very constant and consistent pricing throughout the entire year. You don't see a fluctuation unlike beef, unlike chicken, unlike lettuce. So pasta is a very, very consistent go-to and is also fairly inexpensive when it comes to a full portion of it. So I had a great time. I hope you did too as well. Again, ring the bell, like the video, hit subscribe. I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning up. Hope you have a great day.